Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Cami is off tonight. Two brothers with ties to a drug cartel will head to trial next month for the shooting death of a Hobart man in Green Bay. Gustavo and Alejandro Cantu are suspects in the April 2022 shooting that happened on Western and Perkin Avenues. The victims, a 34-year-old Randall Denny, was found dead in the road. Today, they marked a final pre-trial hearing. The court's going over several motions today to prepare for that trial. Emily Beyer was in court. She brings us now the latest developments.
Gustavo and Alejandro Cantu are being tried together for the murder of 34-year-old Randall Denny. Alejandro Cantu's attorney wanting to have his case severed from his brothers. Her argument is that a witness who was once a joint co-defendant with the brothers does not make any incriminating comments about Alejandro. That witness is Jacob Ventura. As we've reported, court documents show witnesses say Ventura was at the scene of the crime, telling police he helped get rid of the murder weapon by selling the gun in Shawano County. Alejandro's attorney saying Gustavo's defense will likely argue differently from her because Ventura says Gustavo pulled the trigger.
At this point in time, my client is going to want to argue that Mr. Ventura's statement is honest and credible, as it supports that he was not involved as the shooter and that there was no plan to commit any type of homicide on the night in question, whereas it certainly anticipated that the other defendant is going to want to argue that Mr. Ventura's statements are not credible as they inculpate him.
We are not relying solely on the proffered statement of one former co-defendant, still a co-defendant, former joined co-defendant. I don't think this significantly changes the character of the way this case is going to be presented from the state's perspective. The case had been previously charged and had been pending for quite a long time without any information from Mr. Ventura.
The judge agreeing with the state and denying the motion to sever the case. Two other arguments raised focused on limiting evidence related to alleged thefts made by the victim. The state saying those thefts are why the two brothers are facing charges.
I think it's also the natural and probable conclusion that a jury should be allowed to consider that if someone steals a substantial amount of things from you, including drugs and guns and personal property, that all of that is relevant to your motivation to commit this act.
The judge siding with the state. The final motion was focused on allowing information about pending cases where the brothers missed court dates. Alejandro had missed a court date, and as we first alerted you with this exclusive video, Gustavo Cantu was arrested in Texas.
Frankly, I think the state does have a little better mechanism to demonstrate flight because he was located in Texas and had a false ID on his person, and the state intends to offer other evidence of flight that he went to another state and had a fake ID on him and still provided a false name to law enforcement when they encountered him in Texas.
Judge Walsh ultimately denying the third motion, stating that there are other evidences of flight or fleeing by the brothers without using past pending open cases. The brothers' trial starts February 10th and is scheduled to take 3 weeks. In Green Bay, Emily Beyer, Action 2 News.